Hey everybody, Bart Barker with Wilson County Schools. I'm joined alongside Carter Noblin, our Wilson County Schools Fine Arts Coordinator, and a fine time we're about to have today, Carter, all the way around. But first,
super excited.
We got to pay the bills
Great
first,
conversation.
right?
Oh, always got to pay the bills. We are very thankful that we have a great partner in Wilson Live. And this episode, again, is brought to you by Gina and Lena, your trusted real estate team with Caldwell Banker Southern Realty. With over 30 years of combined experience and a background as former teachers with Wilson County Schools, Gina and Lena bring unmatched dedication, communication, and care to every client. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, they'll guide you with the heart of a teacher and the knowledge of seasoned professionals. When you're ready to make your next move, reach out to Gina and Lena at Caldwell Banker Southern Realty. Had lunch with them just a couple days ago.
Yum.
Man, they're so excited for this. They're excited.
This is premier content.
I think they're nervous to come on. I think they're a little nervous, but we're going to get them on here.
We're going to get them on here. If you are a newcomer, this is Wilson Live, episode 3. We're new to the podcast game at Wilson County Schools, but we hope that you are getting as much out of it as we are, having as much fun putting into it, and bringing on great guests, a lot of information, kind of a fire hose, if you will. A lot of things that will come your way, but we feel it's beneficial, and got to give a shout out to Carter. This kind of started... Goodness, what did you say, a year ago, maybe?
Probably about a year ago. Yeah,
in terms of the behind the scenes stuff.
It was probably last December.
Okay, maybe about half a year. Yeah, a little over half a year.
There were some world events, and it was pretty clear that podcasting was a growing platform and something that we didn't do. So excited that we have the opportunity to try and fill that gap.
Well, joining us today in the worldwide Wilson Live headquarters here at 415 Harding Drive at the ATC in Lebanon, Tennessee, we have very special guest, Mr. Chuck Whitlock. A little round of applause for Mr. Chuck Whitlock. Chuck is no stranger, especially if you were in the athletic space of Wilson County Schools. Chuck wears a lot of hats. That just comes with it. He's highly respected amongst his peers. He's well accomplished. We'll talk about the latest credential that you got here recently, not too long ago, and how important that is. But Chuck, welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm really excited. Obviously, old guy here, so I brought the mean age of the podcast up a little bit. Brought the hair quotient down a little bit.
Hair looks fantastic today.
Yeah. I shined it up specifically for you two today.
For those who don't know Chuck, Chuck is classified as our health services supervisor. He works very closely with our lead district nurse, Mrs. Keisha, or I call it Nurse Keisha Cohn, who is fantastic. She is just incredible in every sense. So he works closely alongside with her. But Chuck is also designated as the district AD, athletic director. So with that, Chuck, comes a lot of things and responsibilities and communication to coaches and those school communities and their athletic programs. But let's just start from the top, and Carter and I will kind of relay off some of these questions and different things, but hopefully the next few moments we'll have a little bit of fun doing it.
Sure.
First thing off, your job title only describes part of what you do, but what all do you do for Wilson County Schools?
Well, and when I came to the district office, my very first job title was Coordinated School Health Coordinator. Coordinated School Health was a statewide program and was an umbrella for physical education, physical activity, nutrition, safety, mental health, social, emotional, everything, pretty much everything that was not specifically academic that supported kids. So that's what brought me to, at that time, Stumpy Lane. And because of that, I've got a lot of other things, bullying prevention, safety. Steve Spencer and I work quite a bit together on things. And if it ever hits the fan, I'm one of those folks that gets deployed out to help support schools if we ever have to relocate a school because of a catastrophic event. I deal quite a bit with. I'm one of the district staff that helps support kids and staff when we have a mental health crisis. I deal quite a bit if we have a loss of a student or a loss of a staff member. We don't ever want to have to
But a district as large as ours, and I've been around for 6
Sometimes
years.
it happens.
It's unfortunately something that's
so
happened in the past.
It's a very sad situation, but we also want to make sure we support that school community when they're going through that, and there's best practices in that. So that's another way I jump in. Again, I'm the OVS bullying prevention person for the district, so I train teachers, train administrators and counselors on best practices on how to prevent, but also how to intervene and follow up with kids that are involved in bullying. So I'm also by default, I'm the provide all the PD and technical support for all of our health and PE folks in the district.
Yeah.
So just a lot of different things in addition to athletics and supporting our nurses and and all the folks that support our kids, ultimately supporting our kids and families.
Many of you may have seen something recently about me putting out some information about the recent heat wave that happened here recently, back in August, earlier in August. And so Chuck sends those notices out to all administrators, letting them know that the heat index is in place, restrictions are in place for outdoor activities, practices, extracurriculars, recess. So just want to let you know, put a face with a name and all of that. Chuck sends those notices out, and it's a big service to our families and schools.
Here in a few months, I'll be one of those folks running the roads, checking the roads when it's cold outside.
Oh, I look forward to that. I love it. I love it. Everybody, my eyes light up with
There you go.
A couple of years when the discussion for this role, the fine arts coordinator role, started happening, one of the comparisons we had was to your role, and to sit in a couple of those conversations and go, oh my goodness, there could be someone else doing everything that Chuck does. That's incredible. And was a little daunting. It's really, really impressive. And a lot of what you do has some sort of connection to the next piece that you work through. But it's immense. Just your job description by itself, that's impressive.
Well, you hang out for about 18 years and stuff just starts collecting. I mean, it just happens.
When you're good at your job,
it does.
People ask you to do your job.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, that's your career path. Take us back for those who don't know. Just kind of where were you born and raised? Where earlier days of Chuck, and then first job within the district.
I'm a homer. I grew up on Mount Juliet Road back before Mount Juliet had
Right.
red lights.
Yeah. Some people, it's hard to imagine for some people.
My mom graduated from Mount Juliet High School, so she remembers when Mount Juliet was, a 2-lane road. There was a goat farm right in the middle of Mount Juliet near the
or Providence
near the railroad tracks.
Right.
So
that it is no more.
correct. So old Wilson County, where people were generations. Everybody knew families and things like that. Grew up, went through. Back then we had Mount Juliet Junior High, which was the West Wilson that we lost to the tornado. Went on to Tennessee Tech. Really thought I was going to be an athletic trainer. Did my bachelor's, was a graduate assistant athletic trainer, and it wasn't until I was almost to the end of my master's that I decided to utilize my education certificate to go into teaching. Again, I was 24 years old before I decided I was going to be a teacher.
I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. Honestly.
Every day.
So, and honestly, I had, it was just, dumb luck. I had finished my master's, and there was a shakeup at my alma mater. Mr. Barnes had been an assistant principal when I was in high school. He gave me a call and came back and taught science at Mount Juliet High School, started coaching football at Mount Juliet High School, took a 4-year sabbatical in another district, came back, and had already started in some of my doctorate work at MTSU, and taught for 6 years at Tucker's Crossroads. Fantastic school. I mean, when you talk about a community school, you've got these kids for kindergarten through 8th grade. And you've got parents who they went to that school. Their parents went to that school, and grandparents, and everybody knows everybody. It was just fantastic. But was there for 6 years, and then went straight from Tucker's Crossroads to Stumpy Lane in 2007.
Some may remember Chuck back, and I'm bringing it up.
Don't say
I'm
that
gonna
word.
I'm going to say it.
You
I'm going
can
to
say the first letter. That's all we say.
The COVID era.
Oh.
And Chuck had one of the most difficult jobs at that time, Carter, and that was informing parents, informing on an open forum at school board meetings about what was going to happen, directives from the state, and how we were going to execute that at the district level when it came to all things around COVID, contact tracing, a lot of things. I have a photo of Chuck just sitting in the hallway during that time, just kind of his head down like this and his phone in his hand. That was a trying time, but and Chuck had to answer a lot of tough questions, and it had to explain a lot of confusing things. I mean, I respected Chuck, from the moment I met him. I just the fact of his background and all that he had done. But man, I'm going to tell you, that time right there, I said Chuck is one of those district superstars. He just is. I mean, he has this way about him that is comforting. And the news may not be the greatest, so he's going to share with you, but he's going to make it make sense, and it's going to be easier to digest. It was a hard time for all of us.
Well, and as somebody that taught in response to some of that, it was really, really, really important that all of that messaging was super clear. And as a teacher, I always felt very, very confident that there was a pretty well thought through plan in place each step of the way, and it wasn't always going to be fun. Really, no step of that was fun, but I was always very, very comfortable with the plan that Chuck, you and your team were putting together. And as a teacher, it was really, really in a time that was uncertain. That was a little bit of that, for lack of a better term, warm hug. We're going to get through this together.
We definitely got it. It was very, very difficult to get. I mean, the messaging that we were getting upstream.
That's right. A lot of directives coming from above.
It was, and Christina Harris was another, just a phenomenal person that moved on from our district, but she was just a dynamo, and she worked, just tirelessly through that. We felt like we needed to support our staff, our stakeholders, our kids, everybody, and and sometimes we had to just keep going back to our state, our county health department, and say, is this really what this means?
You're right.
And honestly, we had to say, okay, you know what you're asking us to do. What,
but is that what you're really asking us to do?
Right. Yeah. So it was some trying times, but it was not fun. We weren't able to give good news all the time. Most of the time we were making somebody upset, but not put a lot of miles on me.
It did.
That's a huge burden. That's a massive burden.
It was terrible.
That I can't imagine many people realize. Even us. I don't know that I would have been able to manage that.
I've had conversations with Chuck since, and of course, God forbid something like that ever happen again, in the exact same nature or whatever. But I can rest assured, Chuck says that he's learned so much from that experience, and that if anything, a lot of things, but preparedness for if something like that were to ever happen again. What are some best practices? What are some things that we learned from it? Some takeaways? I may not do that again.
Honestly, we learned a little bit. If you recall, we had a tuberculosis, some contact tracing before COVID. Just a minor, a small little bit.
That was several years ago.
Yeah,
yes.
but that gave us an idea of how the Department of Health and their epidemiologists work and do their
Right.
job. So that kind of gave us a little prompt on how that space works.
Yeah. Epidemiologist is probably not a word that I want to pronounce too often anymore. It's a tough one. So you talked a little bit about your career path and how you've gotten to this point. As you continue, what's next for Chuck?
I really don't know. I've really been a jack of all trades, and I think part of it is just because I've always wanted to serve. I wanted to be useful. That's where I've acquired all these extra little duties. I think it comes down to how can I serve?
Sure.
So where can I be useful? Where can I meet the needs of people in my community? So that's where it's going to take me.
Serving students, that embodies every bit of what Chuck does. I mean, he does what's in the best interest, or feels what's in the best, or tries to serve in the best interest of staff, teachers, students, the full school community. He has that in mind in everything that he does. He truly, truly cares. And that's what this podcast is largely about, is like, you can, putting faces with a name, but getting to know these personalities on a more intimate level to say,
Sure.
and he really genuinely does care about this district so much.
And it's that care that challenges administrators and teachers and our students. We're in a community that enjoys serving, and not just serving ourselves, but serving each other. And that's because for the longest time, that's been the atmosphere and the mentality. And it's people like you that continue to promote that for us.
Chuck loves athletics, and it's a busy time. It's the fall season, football in full swing. It got here fast, so we're still in the early parts of the season. But as we press on through this season, we have 5 high schools. If you're new to the district, we have 5 high schools who compete. All are in 6A, except Watertown competes in Class 3A. That's right. So what do you like about our teams? I mean, it's everyone, all teams, no matter which sport you play, is a little bit different, and just the geography and just kind of the makeup of the team and the history that comes with that and rivalries and all that stuff. But Chuck's eyes light up he loves football season, as do many of us.
I think we all do.
I think we all
so.
do. How's football season going so far?
We've got a weekend. Got to see, had some surprises. Week 1, really, some unexpected positives that we're seeing. But it's week 1.
Right.
We've got some, I know this.
As we press on, right, you've got a lot of great matchups and a lot of great things.
Great matchups, got some great things going. You've got some unexpected things that'll pop up, but and the cream will rise to the top. But we've really we've got some talented coaches. I don't think the quality of our coaches is, outside the county, but inside the county, our guys, there's some healthy respect. We've got some, not just head coaches, we've got some coordinators that are really top notch. I mean, if you go and look at what some of our defensive coordinators are doing, and if you're a football guy and you see what they do at halftime, some of the adjustments that they're able to get 16, 17, 18-year-old kids to do, we're talking collegiate level modeling and theories they're implementing. It's really some amazing stuff. And some of the offensive theories that you're seeing pulled off, again, with 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old boys is pretty high-level stuff. Now, obviously, every offense, every defense operates better when you have 300-pound linemen and have guys that can run
Push
a 4-3.
people around, yeah.
But as far as kids, families, and kids and coaches that buy in and put the extra work in, and do it the right way. I'm very, very proud of all of our programs, and the coaches. Shout out to all the coaches' wives that donate their marriages or put their marriages on hold for the next several months. Right. Band directors and their families.
My wife lived that for 9 years.
Yes,
I am that I am no stranger to that schedule.
Yes, But also, and I be remiss. We've got girls soccer, we've got volleyball, we've got golf, we've got middle school sports going on. We've got a lot going on in the fall. It's amazing. All the kids in band, all the kids that are involved in
cheer and dance.
Oh, yeah. They are wearing their school colors and involved in a positive activity, creating connections with their coaches, their sponsors, with their teammates, and representing their school. That's a really, really cool thing.
So every spring, when I was at Wilson Central, we would go and we would visit our feeder schools. We'd go visit the elementary schools. We'd visit the middle schools. And the conversation that I would have with those 8th graders and those 5th graders was, I know band is not for every single one of you, but there is some place for you to be a part of a bigger community when you get to insert high school here.
Amen.
And whether it's one of these athletic programs or band or cheer or dance or theater, any of it, it's just another community.
FFA,
exactly.
HOSA, get involved in something. If you're involved in something, and again, you're building relationships, you're building a connection, and it's a positive. It's going to pay off. It's going to be a positive thing. And those are the folks those are relationships. Those are the people that are going to be in your wedding, that you're going to latch onto. And when you have a 10-year reunion, you're going to go over into the corner and talk about stuff that happened in high school from here in the next 10, 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah, that was the Wilson County Fair last week. Every time I turned a corner, it was somebody else I was in high school band or high school choir with. It was, you're right. And they're lasting relationships, and they're accountability partners along the way. Whether that's an adult as a teacher or that offensive line group, that they're going to hold each other's hands through all of it because we're just going to continue to push and motivate each other. Yeah. So this is me just curious as a band director. I'm kind of stuck in that one spot on a Friday night. What does your Friday night at a football game look like?
He roves around.
I've got a spot.
Okay.
I've got a spot. Every stadium, I've got a spot, and I'm not going to.
Don't give up your
tell
secret.
you, but I do have a spot. Part of me is the old coach. I'm looking to see what we're doing offensively or defensively. Part of me has the AD hat on. I'm looking up into the stands. I'm looking to see what the crowd's like. I'm looking in the student section, looking to see what the game staff's doing. If they're where the SROs and other maybe the administrators, if they're positioned around. If the game management scenario is set up appropriately.
Pause right there, because I think there's a point that needs to be made, because I get questions about it a lot too. When those Friday night lights come on, or now it's multiple nights a week, but when those stadium lights come on, and it is now a TSSAA event, can you tell people? Can you just explain to people? Yes, our administrators are on site, but there are things, and then of course, security staffing is there as well. But what differentiates between kind of school day policy and then we've gone over to a TSSAA event that our students are playing in and our coaches are involved in? Is there any rules difference in terms of safety mandates that they require, or long and short of it, when a game is played, that is a TSSAA event. Yes, it's on school property for the most part. But again, what's the big difference there?
Well, the TSSAA just simply is pretty broad, but as the host site, we're expected to have a safe playing environment. Again, pretty broad. So we're going to, and Wilson County Schools, we're going to do it right. We're gonna have when you walk into any of our for tonight or for Friday night. The 28th, you're gonna see an ambulance from WEMA. You're going to see a dedicated crew that's going to be there to respond to an emergency, whether it be on the field or in the stands or anywhere on the complex. You're going to see uniformed sheriff's deputies roaming around. You're going to see whether it be you're going to see admin, you're going to see staff members from the school at gates. You're going to see them positioned throughout the stadium at different places. They're going to have radios. It's going to feel you might not be looking for it, but if you open your eyes, you're going to see those different aspects of it, because we need to be able to respond in case there's a medical emergency or if somebody gets out of hand or we can't let, because honestly, this is a sad truth. The fans outnumber our game staff.
Right.
You have a Mount Juliet Green Hill game. There may be 5,000 spectators. We don't have 5,000 game staff.
Right.
So we've got to put things into place to where we can manage that, to where everybody can enjoy the event, have a great time, and have memories of that Friday night experience, but not have an unsafe event.
Right.
So all of those things are done in between the administrators, the athletic director, the SROs. We lean heavily on the SROs to set all that in place, so we can focus our efforts on those 11-on-11 football players and have everybody else have a good time. They can cheer and have a good time, but everybody can have a safe time and go home at the end of the night without a 911 call.
That's the goal. That is always the goal.
Always.
Sure. I would encourage, if you are, again, we know that our school, if you're closely tied to these programs and any of our fall sports or band or anything, that they would go support that. My challenge would be this: say you're an elementary family and your feeder schools, that middle and high school that you'd be zoned for, and you feel like you're gonna call Wilson County home for a long time if you have not already, or maybe you just arrived. Go ahead and get involved with going to these, supporting these middle schools and high schools, and getting to just be part of the fabric of that community, that school community at a higher level at middle and high school. If you're in elementary, especially Carter could talk for days about, it's seed planting. It's like, you may have a child that sees something in a game that an older student is doing, be it on the field, the sideline, or whatever. Hey, that's interesting to me. And Carter mentioned, the band aspect of it. So many, things that are, that can just pull your eyes to it, and your ears as well. There's so many things there that could be, I don't know, just planting a seed for a child to get involved. As we mentioned earlier, get involved in something and be a part of that community, or be a part of that program or that club or something. Go ahead. Don't shy away. Just because you're not officially part of that school yet, go ahead and get involved with it. Go support what they're doing, because hey, if you've got children or you've got small children and you hear it from other people, they don't stay little long.
No.
They grow up fast. And I may need a moment. But Carter and I both had children to start kindergarten this year. I do have a second grader, but it does go fast.
Yes.
Very, very fast for sure.
Yeah.
Carter, what do you have there on you as we go down the list here?
Sure. So we've talked a little bit about some of the roles that you have inside of the school system. We know that you work with Empower Me and the Wilson County Health Council. Talk to some of those roles. What do those look like for you?
Well, Health Council. I've been active in the Health Council ever since I took on my role with coordinated school health in 2007. That's really, I feel like that just dovetails right in with what I do, and that allows me to access some resources that support our kids, and allows me to have a greater impact on Wilson County. We do a lot of things. We're getting ready in September. We're about to have a suicide prevention or suicide awareness event over at Cumberland, our Never Alone event, which is we've been doing this for 10 years now. The Wilson County Health Council in the spring every year, for the last several years, we do a physical activity promotion, and Wilson County is primarily our kids club programs. So Walk Across Wilson is a really cool thing that we've been able to do, and we partner with them. So it just an extension of that health promotion aspect of one of my jobs. Empower Me. Those of you that know me, you know we've got a little guy at our house named Bryce. Here, Halloween will be our 10th anniversary of when he came to live with us. But he special needs Empower Me is a fantastic organization. My wife's known the executive director for years and years and years, back when she was teaching and as an administrator in another district. But Empower Me serves special needs kids and adults in our community, and really excited about all that they've done and all that they have planned to support those individuals and their families. I don't think we give them enough credit for what they do, the life-giving support that they give for families. Unless you're one of those families, you just don't realize how impactful it is for somebody to give you a lifeline when you are a caregiver for a special needs child or a special needs adult. I also kind of just throw in. I coach Challenger baseball. So Challenger baseball is pretty freaking awesome.
I bet it is.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
I've seen it. It's incredible.
Yes.
It is awesome.
Yes. We have more home runs than any other league.
And some pretty good dances to go with those home runs, including Bryce, for what I've seen.
Bryce can
big jelly roll,
with the best.
Big Jelly Roll fan,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Challenger baseball is pretty awesome, and Shooting Stars basketball is another thing that Michelle does in the Mount Juliet area. So Shooting Stars basketball is under WWBA, just a great program for those folks and those families and really the special needs community.
I serve. I'm proud to say I serve on the board of directors for Empower Me Center, and everything that Chuck said is absolutely 100% correct, and it is so it's inspirational what Empower Me Center is able to do for so many special needs children, as Chuck mentioned, adults as well. So it is powerful, and if I encourage you, if you don't know a lot about it, just a simple Google search is just Empower Me Center, 11 in Tennessee, and you will see a fantastic website that gives you a ton of information on what exactly it is, and if you feel inclined, how you can support it. So very good there. Chuck, we are getting close to the end of time here, but he's not getting out of here, Carter, without having a little bit of fun on our Fast Five.
We have to.
Our Fast Five questions.
We have to, yeah. Before we do that one, I did a little bit of research before we met, and I asked a couple of folks, just give us some talking points. And one person was very curious. Did you ever get in trouble in school?
Junior high was a tough time.
Common.
I was a complete idiot. I didn't do anything bad, but I can tell you firsthand, Coach Eskew can swing a mean paddle. So can Coach McFarland. Yeah, Coach McFarland got me twice. Coach Eskew got me once. So
without those paddlings,
yes,
Chuck would not be the man he is
there
today.
You go. There you go. But yes, I was paddled three times in junior high.
Hey, real quick before we get to the Fast Five, because I mentioned earlier, we'll make sure we get to it. Chuck, just tell some folks again about the accreditation that you received recently. It's great. It's an incredible, to have this level of accreditation amongst a district AD. It's important. It just adds to the overall essence of what you're able to do, but also puts you in a group that not everybody has. And we're fortunate to have you in the district, but just tell people exactly what you were able to earn here recently.
Well, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
I knew it was a mouthful. That's why I wanted you to say.
Yeah. NIAAA.
Yeah.
They have, I received the Certified Athletic Administrators credentials. Went through and took several classes. I had to earn, had to actually submit my resume. You earn points for doing certain things and having completed certain tasks. You get points for running tournaments and doing presentations and submitting articles and things like that. So you have to, it's not just a matter of taking a test and taking classes. You got to actually do the work. So that was actually probably one of the tougher parts of it. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing, but took several classes, had been going to conferences and been really trying to grow myself because, that's another thing. I want to serve, but I also want to grow. Don't want to stagnate. And every time I go and try to grow myself, I also want to, share that with our school level athletic director so I can try to grow them as well. So had gotten to the point to where I was a faculty. I'm a state faculty member, so I'm teaching athletic directors across the state on some of the foundational classes. And then one of my students had said, well, why don't you have your credentials yet? Because they were taking these classes to get their credentials. I was like, well, you got me.
You got it. So better get to work.
So I took the test, passed the test. So I got my credentials last winter.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Super proud of that. And again, we're just so awesome to have Chuck in our district doing what he does each and every day. Such a service to so many. So,
yeah.
Having said that, Carter, you want to get us going with Fast Five?
Yeah, let's do it. So we ask everyone that comes on the podcast 5 questions. It's just meant to be fun. These aren't too serious. But taking you all the way back to Mount Juliet Junior High, is that what we call it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Favorite cafeteria food?
Oh, it's got to be Rectangle Pizza.
That was Mr.
It's
Luttrell's.
everybody.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. I think that's going to
Rectangle
be
Pizza. Actually, you get the extra slice.
Oh.
You
Whoa.
double decker.
That's
top all. You double decker it and go
a
at
pizza
it.
Sandwich?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the way to go.
That sounds
I'm going to go check out some cafeteria menus. I think
amazing.
we might take this
For
on the road.
some reason, every time we had the Rectangle Pizza, we also had corn. That was a
corn. Now that was a statewide thing, evidently, because I remember that being the case at my school as well. Yeah. All right, if you could swap jobs with anyone in the district for one day, who would it be?
God, I'll be honest with you, it probably would be just about any elementary PE teacher.
Okay.
That is because those kids, they want to see you. They do. And I did it for a while, but I think just about any elementary PE teacher, I would love to swap jobs for a day.
Wilson County Schools talent show. What's your talent going to be?
Ooh. I could probably I can do some impressions of some of our leadership team. I'm not going to do them right now, but I've been around. I've been around for a while, so no, I'm not going to do them right now. But if we ever have that,
given the stage and the right moment, you think you could?
I think I could.
I think that's a whole episode.
That is a whole episode. Stay tuned. All right. Okay. If you could learn an instrument, which instrument would that be? Or do you play anything?
The least musical person, but I've always, the bass.
Slapping the bass?
I want to be the guy that does it with a thumb, just slapping it.
Slapping the bass? What was that movie? I Love You, Man.
That's exactly what
I Love You, Man. Yep. Many of you aren't going to get that, but if you see I Love You, Man, then slapping the bass.
All right, number 5. Number 5. You're driving all over Wilson County. You've got all these different schools you're going to. What's playing in the car from stop to stop?
If I've got time, if I don't have much time, I'm just going to listen to the radio because I don't want to slip up and be listening to something that's going to rage me a little bit. But
to get triggered,
my playlist is it's all over the place. I've got just 80s, and I got rock. I got a little bit of old rap. I've got
switch over to gospel, and then
I've got James Taylor and Pure Prairie League. I got Jimi Hendrix. I've got some old funk. I've got it all. But again, I've got to have time to make sure I don't end up with ragey type stuff right before I go into a building.
Are you into the book, the audiobook stuff at all?
No.
I know. I haven't really Carter, you may be into that a little bit.
I'm not a big audiobook guy. I've started listening to podcasts because some of these drives from, like, if I've got to go from, I drove from Lakeview to Watertown.
That takes
a couple weeks ago.
That takes a
I'm
little
going to put a podcast on because I don't know that I can get through a whole album and not just want to change albums.
Yeah. So there you go.
But that is a drive. I've done that before. That is a drive.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
Well, our journey with Chuck has come to an end, and hey, we're so glad that you joined us today.
Thank
and
you.
Hope that you've enjoyed listening or watching it, or however you've been able to consume this, and much more to come. As we feel like our podcast segments are off to a really good start. Great guests, great conversation, great content. Again, shout out to Carter for all he does behind the scenes. He's really the producer of this show, both technical and the literary side as well, of putting things together. And he tells me to show up here and show up there, and I'm able to do that. And Carter, thank you for allowing me to be part of this journey as well. And we'll just continue to have a lot of fun with it. So.
Excited about it. And we'll continue to run into each other all over Murfreesboro.
That's right. Every time I'm in Murfreesboro, I bump into Carter. So
it's the weirdest thing.
Weirdest thing.
Crazy.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for episode 3 of Wilson Live. Again, roughly every 2 weeks or so is when a new episode will drop. So be on the lookout for the next episode after you, of course, digest this one, either watching it or listening to it or however that you, again, consume that. For Carter Noblin, I'm Bart Barker with Wilson County Schools. Thanks again to Chuck Whitlock, our Health Services Supervisor, District AD, for a wonderful visit today. Be safe out there, treat each other well, and we'll talk to you again real soon.